What if I told you there is a location where you can find over 700 Disney-like castles? In an idyllic valley surrounded by beautiful mountains and forests. Capturing the dream of living like a princess or prince in your own fairy tale castle. Once upon a time, it was the dream of Sadot Group. Drive a few kilometers south from the picturesque town of Mudurnu and you'll come across this exceptionally strange sight. Here you'll find an entire town of hundreds of Disney-style mini palaces, complete with turrets and glamorous towers.
But unfortunately, the dream, together with the economy, collapsed, leaving 732 nearly identical unfinished castles alone in the beautiful mountains of Turkey. This is Off the Main Road in Burj Al Babas. The drive up there was challenging with the melting snow. But after a demanding ride through dense forest, a ghost town suddenly emerged out of nowhere. Do you want to be a princess living in the castles? Do you?
I am a princess.
Parked up here in the middle of the forest, beautiful mountains, and then look behind me. Everywhere you see seeing this strange abandoned town consisting of half-completed mini castles, well, it leaves you wondering. Why? What the actual fuck happened? And how did they came here in the first place? Let's take you back to the beginning.
The Burj Al Babas project was initially aimed at wealthy investors and potential homeowners looking for luxury villas in a unique and extravagant setting. The project was designed to cater to those seeking a fairy tale-like living experience. It was marketed as a high-end residential development, attracting buyers from various countries, particularly from the Middle East and Asia. The grandiose plans resembled a castle in the clouds, but proved more like Rapunzel's hair. Ambitious, but easily tangled. What was intended to be a bustling new community filled with affluent residents is now a surreal ghost town, abandoned to the whims of Mother Nature.
Right, let's go. Let's get the view up close.
So we actually don't know if this place is still guarded or not. But I don't think so.
Yeah, I doubt it. I think it's a bit ridiculous to pay a guard 24/7.
For so many years, it's already... The project stopped it in 2021. So yeah, let's see. I don't know if we have to whisper or not. You want to go down this way? Or...
I don't know, seems a little bit steep.
But there's a fence everywhere. Oh, fuck. Shoes. Looking at the crumbling enclave, it's hard to imagine the project aimed to create a fairy tale-like environment. It appears that a small group of people aim to make a quick profit, at the expense of nature, the local population, and even the prospective homebuyers. The choice of this location aimed to offer residents a luxurious experience, taking advantage of the unique geothermal features present in Mudurnu, equipping each villa with its own thermal pool influenced by the natural hot springs underneath the building site.
Construction on the fanciful $200 million development began around 2014. The grand vision was to create a neighborhood straight out of a Renaissance fairy tale. 732 majestic chateaus, each standing side by side, each one with its own private elevator, personal pool, underfloor heating, and of course, own thermal spring bath. The brochures certainly looked promising. The town itself was intended to also have its own shopping center, restaurants, spas, Turkish baths and golf course. The castles were on the housing market for an average price of around $400,000, some even way higher depending on the facilities. The project should have been finished in 2021. However, fast forward to 2024 and what lingers of this dream is a haunting landscape of abandoned aspirations, where the echoes of what could have been now mingle with the windswept silence of unrealized luxury.
As stated, the construction on the complex began in 2014. Using thousands of workers, the developers aimed to finish the project in 4 years. The development was originally successful, with approximately half of the castles selling in advance. But what were the challenges that ultimately led to its failure? Was it the dragon of a bad economy, or rather the mean witch of using bad materials?
Burj Al Babas faced a perfect storm, like a magic carpet ride gone wrong. From the start on, there were quite a lot of issues. First of all, the location was not so thoughtful. Mudurnu, a potential UNESCO World Heritage Site, dates back to Roman times and is celebrated for its distinctive Byzantine and Ottoman architecture. Many locals who resided in the area had to relocate and the forest had to go. The construction was soon halted by complaints from conservationists and environmentalists. All this leading to a criminal report filed in 2015 against the Sarat Group for environmental damage, which all further infuriated Mudurnu residents who were already up in arms about the resort's incongruous architecture. The town would have looked exceptionally weird and out of place in the surrounding landscapes of Bulu province.
Would you want to live here?
Yeah, I can't wait to buy one of these. No, of course not.
Secondly, the materials used in this project would not be able to withstand the blow of the big bad wolf. Everything is as fake as Cinderella's carriage, and it didn't even need the strike of midnight to crumble.
As you can see, the materials that we used were high quality. It's all foam.
Boom. The whole isolation is just foam.
It's a very nice glass fiber roof.
Would be really warm in the winter, no? The amount of materials. Look, so fucked up.
We have to be quiet, because I've heard the place is guarded by fairies and giants. When the fairies see us, they bring the giants, and the giants eat us. So we have to be careful.
I'm guessing this would be the pool.
Could be.
The site was abandoned in 2019 after the developers filed for bankruptcy with a debt of $5 million. Sales had stalled the year before. Failing oil prices and instability in Turkey were cited as reasons for the slump in sales. Developers, facing financial dragons worthy of Maleficent, grappled with debt and liquidity issues, all while navigating legal mazes resembling Alice's Wonderland, leaving behind a project that promised the solitude of a castle on a hill.
They're all so close to each other. I really don't understand. If I would be rich, I'd buy a property somewhere in the middle of fucking nowhere. Ironically, the dream of having one's own castle loses its magic when there are over 700 identical ones standing side by side. After all, in the Kingdom of Dreams, it's only something truly special about being the only one to wear the crown on that magical hill. So the dream turned into a nightmare, and the pandemic drove the last nail into the project's coffin. Many expressed their hope that something would come of it after all. We can say with certainty, in our feeling, that this project does not look at all like it is ever going to be restarted. At least not with the same goal in mind.
The likelihood of reconstruction seems rather non-existent, and the extent of the damage is overwhelming. It was all packaged and marketed in a very attractive manner, but no matter how well disguised, when the clock strikes 12, the ugly truth always surfaces.
The future of Burj Al Babas remains uncertain. Although we fervently hope that the location will eventually be giving a new cultural purpose, not merely reflecting a dragging in this beautiful nature that serves only the wealthiest. Instead, we envision a space that brings joy to people of all walks of life. A place with endless possibilities. Playgrounds or movie sets, housing for those in need, festival venues, and so much more.
Certainly, it is not without big challenges, and finances are always an issue. However, let's learn from this experience that with careful planning and community engagement, we could create something truly meaningful.
Let's hope the lesson here could be that every location, no matter its past, has the potential to be repurposed for the greater good. It's an opportunity to build a space that fosters inclusivity and serves the needs of a broader community. Hopefully one day, Burj Al Babas will get the fairy tale rescue it so badly needs, and everyone will live happily ever after.